Hey everyone, welcome to KTI Chat August 13th, 2024. I'm Melissa Krenzer and I am coming to you from Grove City, Pennsylvania, which is an hour north of Pittsburgh. I teach 6th grade at Grove City Area Middle School and I was KTI Summit 2021 and joining me is my friend Austin.
Hi, everybody. I'm Austin Goodling. I live in Lancaster. It's about an hour west of Philadelphia, for those who know this bottom region. I am a KTI star of 2024, and I teach 7th grade social studies in Manheim Township, which is just north of Lancaster.
Great. Thanks for joining me tonight, Austin. Our first question is coming right up. Introduce yourself. Share your name, where you live, your job, in your KTI Summit year. So, Austin, I met you a month ago, I think Monday night at the event. And so it's been a pretty crazy ride for you, right?
Oh my gosh. It felt like summer went so fast. Like, it's crazy to think that it was a month ago. It feels like last week when I was just saying goodbye to everybody at the summit. But I miss waking up and hearing music and getting applauded as I walk places.
Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't happen when I walk into the cafes in Lancaster. So
right.
that's a bummer.
So Austin is your friend and your clone.
Yes.
Brendan is joining us.
I see that. Brendan, he told me earlier that he was going to be in to watch. And so him and I were talking about it. But yeah, he's another Lancaster. Yep, there it is.
Now he's following the rules. Thanks for following our rules. Don't forget to put A1 and hashtag KTI chat in your answer. And so we have Jessica joining us.
Yes. Another one of my Lancaster cohort friends. 3rd grade, 2024.
Now, do you say it Lancaster or Lancaster?
I say Lancaster. I'm not going to be picky about how people say it because I know it's all over the place.
And we have the famous, the one, the only Missy Halcott joining us from York, PA. She has a really cool title this year. She is both instructional tech innovation supervisor and an assistant principal. And she followed the directions too.
The directions in there. 717. I want a title like Missy one day. One that's just nice and long and sounds so cool.
I told my principal I need the title Chief Innovation Officer. That is totally me. Like, that would be my dream job. Just let me be innovative with every teacher in the building.
Yeah.
Kristen is joining us from Manheim as well. Do you teach with her?
I do not teach with Kristen, no, unfortunately.
So good to see you, Kristen. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Jess has helped us with the pronunciation there.
Lancaster. See, I'm from Ohio, so like our, vowel sounds are very drawn out, and the A's, you just don't get me started on the A's in Ohio.
I could imagine. I have my best friend's wife is from Ohio.
Oh yeah. But the big debate at Summit was water or water. So say water.
Water.
Okay.
Are you a water person or
no? That's a Eastern PA. That's like a easy thing. So, and Kristen Clayton is joining us from Chambersburg area, also 3rd grade teacher. She was at Summit in July with us.
Yeah, a lot of 2024 summits are joining.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I love that. Tomorrow's event. Oh yeah, the get together. The Southeastern get together. One of them.
Okay. What are you doing?
We are going to.
Is that the Bearded Goat?
Bearded Goat. Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Up in Harrisburg tomorrow night.
Good plug. So
yeah.
You're in that area.
I'll be there. Brennan will be there. Oh.
Sheree is joining us. I met Sheree at Pete and C last year, and it was exciting to see her at Summit. She's 1st grade teacher. A lot of elementary schools representing tonight.
This topic will be perfect for them.
Hey, Matt. Good to see you joining us. He's from Berks County. Also, 2024 star representing tonight. Summit stars from 2024.
We have Chrissy coming in from Northeast Philly area, K-5, 2022 star.
Yeah, she has a cool job title too, Explorations.
Yeah.
Byrne joining us from, how do you say that? Matamoros. Is that right? Matamoros? Delaware High School Life Science. So yeah, we talked a lot about the steel standards when we were at Summit. And there's Bailey from Williamsport, another first grade teacher joining us. So we are coming up almost ready for our first question of the night. Krista's joining us. And Jamie.
Burgettstown, 8th grade.
That's Pittsburgh area. Finally, the western half of the state's representing tonight. All right, let's have our first question up. I'm sorry, it's our second question because it is question 2. When you see this illustration, what thoughts or feelings come to mind? So I found this on social media right after Summit. And to describe the picture, it is colored on the left, black and white on the right. And in the center, there is a machine that has the label of school. And on the left, you see young kids entering into the machine, and they're excited, they're happy, they're full of color. And then you see in the machine, creativity leaks out, intelligence leaks out, no more color. And out of the machine on a conveyor belt come 3 graduates in their caps and gowns that are not happy, that are not colorful, that are not joyful. And so the idea is this what school is doing to our kids, taking out the creativity, taking out intelligence, and producing these, I don't know, a lack of a better word, robots. So what comes to mind? What are your thoughts and feelings? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What about you, Austin?
I do agree in a sense. It depends on, obviously who you have as a teacher, what's your school system like. But there has and is this idea of kind of you have that creativity at a young age, but you have to remove that creativity to put in room for the knowledge that we think that they need. And I like on that picture there, that idea of on the bottom that you have the intelligence and creativity pouring out of that machine going to a drain. Like it's just being thrown away like waste. This is something that needs to be changed. Like that color should be all over the entire thing. It shouldn't be black and white anywhere. So unfortunately, that this happens, but I think that we need to make a better job of trying to make that color all over the place.
I like it. Well, let's see what our friends wrote in our chat. So Brandon says, it makes me sad to see how our society sees education. We definitely need to be moving more towards to a creative way of learning. We need to put that creativity back in. I so agree with Brandon.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
So Missy says, go ahead, Austin, you read about Missy.
Missy said that I hate seeing the passion and excitement kids have for learning leaving them. We can make learning fun for all ages. I agree with that 100%. It's not just elementary school that can have fun. You can have fun with 11th and 12th graders. You can have fun with even college kids in your class.
For sure.
There's tons of different things. Jessica says, teaching to the test is my first thought. What's your take on that?
I see a lot of teachers use this as a reasoning for taking out creativity and encouraging those different intelligences. Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences, that there are, 8, possibly 9 different parts of a child that have intelligence, and we have to encourage all of them and not just math and reading. But I think we have to be creative, and we can if we think outside the box.
Yep.
But testing is definitely hard for those of us in that I teach math. So it's in my tested, I get tested and I have to get through all the stuff, but we can't quench that creativity. Matt says, bring the love of learning back. I so agree. And I am excited to see how schools are giving small opportunities to students to have that voice and choice, even if it's just in a special schedule.
Yeah, and Chrissy chimed in saying that this is exactly why I hate school and why I became a teacher. I'm in the same exact boat as Chrissy there. Going through school, it felt like I was being fed from a book. And that kind of realized to me that that's not how we should be fostering this next future of citizens and people of the world. So changing that creativity and fostering that's very important.
True. And Krista says one size fits all doesn't work in education. We all have individual gifts to bring to society. A couple years ago at Pete and C, one of the keynote speakers said that every student should have an IEP. Every student should have an individualized education plan so that they can get what they need and be interested in and foster their own love for learning.
And Jamie jumped in and said that so many of our students are feeling like they're missing creativity. We can bring that back through KTI chat.
There you go.
Share some great ideas here.
Yeah, it's great. So Mary Jo is joining us, and she said it depends on the culture of the district. And so true that our leaders make a big difference in that. And yes, you can find spots of this in individual classrooms, but it does come from a leader having that innovative mindset and encouraging that from K to 12.
Yeah, one thing too that kind of jumped into my head is this idea that it's one entrance, one exit coming out of that machine. I feel like now more than ever, there's so many more opportunities for our students. That's not just directly through our school curriculum. It could be maybe it's extracurricular, maybe it's through something like CTC programs. So it's not just one exit. There's many options for these kids too.
I like that thought. That's good. Sheree says we need to keep the color going on our classrooms, make students want to be with us and enjoy learning. Yeah, I mean, relationships are so important in the classroom.
Yep. Kristen chimed in talking about standardized testing. Everyone's expected to perform the same way, even though they all have different strengths and abilities to bring to an environment.
Right. So it's kind of what you were just saying, that different exit points. So Jordan's joining us. Good to see you, Jordan. Thanks for joining us. Kristen says, this makes me so sad. I've seen the school system do this to some kids, but I believe there are so many teachers that want to spark creativity and innovation in today's school, and we are fighting for this for sure. And I think that's where KTI has a voice, right? We can help these students really become creative and intelligent as well.
Scott chimed in. Scott goes, I'm reminded of the factory model of learning, which, face it, does kill creativity.
Right. Yeah, this definitely is that factory model.
Yes.
One size fits all. And even look at the three exiting, they look alike. Their facial expressions.
Yes. They are not happy with what they just went through in this picture.
Yeah, you would think. I just had a daughter graduate, and she definitely was excited to be graduating. So that, I mean, there's a lot in this graphic for sure.
There is.
Jordan said, it makes me sad. I feel like we need to keep creativity in classrooms and trust teachers to do their jobs and make it fun. Yeah, a friend of mine just told me she has to go day by day by her Basil reader, and she can't add anything or do anything else. And that's sad. That's not trusting the teacher to do their job.
Yeah. Byrne is kind of changing, saying, where does the drain lead and can it be diverted back? I think that's our whole goal, is to find a way to divert that creativity back into our students, to funnel that creativity, which is what Scott also just timed in and kind of mimicked what I was saying ahead of time. So I'd love to hear that coming in.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so let's head on to our third question, that still talking about this graphic.
Eric's chiming in. What's up, Eric?
So don't forget to put A3 in your response, but how are you a disruptor when it comes to this image of education? So what are you doing in your classroom to keep that color, or like Byrne said, refunnel that color back into our students? And that intelligence, or like we were saying, that the multiple intelligence theory of ways to incorporate body and kinesthetic and musical talents and linguistic, logical. How can we disrupt? Have you heard the term disruptor before?
I have. I've heard it used as teachers being disruptors. I've heard it used as the classroom environment being a disruptor, the school being a disruptor. So I've heard that used all throughout, and I know that there are times when I disrupt positive and negative. If I come in a bad mood, the kids know that and they understand that. So like, I feel like just focusing on trying to be that positive disruptor, right? Yeah. They're having a dull day. 30 seconds, make something fun happen in your class just to make that little bright pop, right?
Yeah. So I first heard this disruptor at the Pittsburgh Tri-Rivers technology conference, and the idea actually came from a movie. It's really not a great movie, but Knives Out, Glass Onion. And he said the disruptor is trying to break the system and do what no one else will do. So I look at this image, and all of us who are KTI stars look at this image and we're like, no, we don't do this, because we are disruptors. We are breaking the system. So we want to break this machine, this factory style of learning. So how do you, the question is, disrupt when it comes to this image of education? And Brandon chimed in first. Go ahead and read what he said.
I was going to say exactly what Brandon was going to say next. So Brandon says that he allows student choice in which material they're doing and when they're doing an engineering project. And I think that is huge in helping bring that creativity, because students get to choose what they want to do, how they want to develop it, how they want to show it. They're interested in that. That's their creativity. That is their intelligence growing through that process. You're not funneling them to do something that they don't want to do necessarily.
Right. So their end product is their choice. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mary Jo says, I give options for students to show their work. Yeah, I love that. That is an important way to give them a choice and a voice.
Yeah. Missy chimes in and says that we're working on deeper learning and helping our students to lead in their learning. We discuss the roles of educators who empower their students. We also know those doing the talking for the most learning. Yeah, I think that we have a huge role and impact in helping facilitate this model of disrupting that school climate of negativity.
As a math teacher, it's so easy for me to be the one doing the most talking. Yeah. But I definitely am a huge proponent of getting those students to do the most talking, because they'll do the learning. And collaboration is huge in my math class. Jordan writes, when I was in the classroom, I used gamification and project-based learning to motivate my students. And now she's a principal and supports her teachers to be creative and try new things. It's time for an education revolution. Amen.
Jess says, I try to make third grade fun. I think elementary should really be about enjoying school.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. When I taught fourth grade prior to this, and students were already coming to me not liking school. They've only been in school 5 years. They still had 7 more to go, and they didn't like it. So in elementary school, we got to create those experiences to get them involved and active in their learning for sure.
Absolutely. We have Sheree, building those relationships, giving my students what they truly need despite curriculum. It isn't always easy, but we try the best we can. I agree, positivity is key. Yeah, relationships are a huge part in trying to let these kids open out about their creativity. A kid's not going to want to feel like they could be creative in your room if they don't feel safe in there. So relationships are huge.
I was challenged a couple years ago to spend the first 2 weeks getting to know my students, like spend time every day getting to know them. Don't rush into the curriculum. The curriculum will always be there, but I believe you'll be able to go faster if they know you and your procedures, and you know them, and you can read their facial expressions and see what they need as they're learning. Let's go on to what Matthew says. I try to do things and make suggestions that benefit students, and admin can't find good reasons to say no. Yeah, I've never had an admin say, don't do that. Don't get the kids out of the seats. No, they don't say that to me. Matt says he teaches multiple classes at the same time and tries to let students drive the direction they want to learn in. There's definitely an art in doing that, right? Because you could have like mass chaos, but you have to relinquish some control, but kind of guide them like kind of Jersey rails on the car, right? As you're driving your car down the freeway.
Kristen says that I don't like the SEL curriculum we are supposed to be using, so this year I'm trying new books to show the student differences. But I'm also completing a Rory Stone activity with students to highlight their differences and how embracing that world makes our world a better place. I like this. I bring in how SEL, I know a lot of schools are using some type of period, whether it's morning, afternoon, to develop that SEL curriculum and the SEL skills. And I think that working that through and making it meaningful will also help students with this creativity and intelligence and breaking the mold.
Yeah, that's true. Kristen says reading her room and throwing out the curriculum when needed. Yeah, you can't just keep feeding them if their brains are shut down. They do need brain breaks, she says. Brain teasers, team building, group discussions go a long way. Also, a fresh start each day or period for my kids, because everyone deserves that So true. We all have those bad moments and bad days. So she is definitely adding color and creativity into her classroom.
Absolutely.
So we had one from Scott a little bit back, and I
saw that. So Scott said, yep, there it is. Approaching topics in different ways from the norm, giving choice, and demonstrating learning and mastery. Yeah, and that idea of finding different modes to provide that information and topics rather than just one way all the time.
Nice. That's great.
I think we also have one more question coming up here too.
Yeah, we're at 10 minutes left. So yeah, we can go to that question number 4. All
Question
right.
you want me to go for it? Awesome.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's go. Question 4 asks, how can we encourage the educators around us this year to promote creativity and intelligence in their classrooms? I'll let you chime in on this one, and then I'll bounce off of what you have.
Yeah, so I talk a lot about leading from the middle or leading from my classroom. And one of the ways I do that is just being kind to my coworkers and mostly encouraging them and complimenting them. And that goes a long way. And so I will share when asked some tech tips of like ways to use Google Slides more creatively, or, hey, Flipgrid is gone, but Microsoft Flip is gone, but you can use Screencastify Submit in its place. And so just helping teachers use the Chromebooks more creatively and more, I call it DOK, more depth of knowledge activities with their Chromebooks. So that's one of the things that I do.
Yeah, I feel like the thing that I see most coming from my 7th graders is they'll come to my room or they'll come to like the math teacher that's next door, and the first thing you'll hear is them complaining about how boring a class or how boring their day was. And I so just think that trying to go to your teachers around the building that and just not being afraid to help out, get them involved in your class one way or another, cross-curricular, right? Yes. You can do social studies with science. You can do it with language. You can do it with Spanish, German. So there's ways that you can connect these classes and make it fun for everybody.
Mizzy says the biggest way to spread this idea is to share what you're doing and invite others to collaborate on new projects. Yeah, so I've been collaborating with our 6th grade teen social studies teacher on how to use some of the STEELS standards in her class, and also like how to use some graphs and data that then I could bring into math class. So that's been pretty cool to collaborate.
Yeah. Brendan says, making my coworkers feel welcome and encouraging them to try out new technology and teaching the same concepts. Oh, to teach the same concepts.
Jessica says, I love that term from leading from the middle. I try to share ideas here and there to encourage others too. That's awesome, Jessica. Keep it up.
Yeah, and I think not being afraid to, if you have something that you're psyched about and you love what you're doing in your room, share that out at a meeting or share it out with pictures down into like a staff email. Just be like, hey, this is really cool. If you want to try it, I'm here.
Jordan says support and growth mindset. Yes, for sure. Even adults fear failure, but it's how we learn and grow. Failure isn't always a bad thing. Be open to share ideas and train your colleagues on what you know. Yeah, for sure. This teacher that I just mentioned, I'm working with, a social studies teacher. She's very nervous about doing some project-based learning. And I said, did you not see me all last year nervous in my first year of 6th grade math? And she's like, no. And I said, that's because I fake it till I make it. Like, I go in with confidence that I know how to teach, but I'm not 100% confident in what the math I'm doing. So I said, you just go in with an attitude of like, we're going to learn together. And if we mess up, that's okay. Mistakes are how our brains grow.
Yeah, teachers are lifelong learners. Byrne chimes in and says, listen to concerns and give suggestions. But he's going to be using 10 minutes of my first department meeting to share some ideas from KTI. So that idea of collaborating, really important, and sharing that creativity.
Oh, Kristen, a girl after my own heart, be a marigold. That's my word. Yes, ma'am. So try to Ed Camp to share new ideas. That's a great idea. They just had one up in near the Erie region in our region yesterday, Ed Camp. Ask a colleague to show you something that is a strength for them. That's awesome. Asking people to share their ideas is so powerful. And yes, it does build up their confidence, and sometimes they are more willing to try something new. Yes, I love to ask, hey, like, how'd you do that thing on the wall that you put out? That's really cool. Tell me more about that.
Yep. Matt says collaborate, have those conversations, offer up ideas for content crossovers and ways to partner on things. Lead them to the water and maybe they will drink.
Oh, that's so hard, right? Because there's those colleagues that are not going to snag any of your ideas or ask you. They're just going to close their door in your face, and that's okay. And all you can do is offer it up and then not take it personal. It's not a you problem. Yep. It's a them problem.
Yeah, if one person doesn't bite on that bait, then there's going to be someone else out there who will. So just keep trying and don't lose hope and lose your courage to go do that. Jordan said, Kristen, I love this. I am doing Marigold Acts awards this year in my building for those that spread positivity and support. So it sounds like school-wide PBIS also can help.
Well, yeah, she's the principal. So yeah, that's cool that she can point that out. So if you're not familiar with the story of the marigold, a marigold is a companion plant that helps other plants around it to grow and to flourish. And so as marigolds, we want to help one another, encourage one another, be that cheerleader, be that person that talks you off the ledge when you have a rough day. But yes, definitely marigolds, near and dear to my heart, that story. It dates back to 2017. I'm sure you were still in high school back then, right?
I wasn't even a senior yet.
Yeah, so it was a blog post written by Cult of Pedagogy. So if you want to check it out, I highly recommend it. Cult of Pedagogy marigold story. So.
Yeah, I love that message, that idea of that being a supporter for those around you. I saw one pop up earlier. I think it was Jen said positively supporting my coworkers and allowing them a safe space to come up with a constructive solution. Helping support people to not be afraid to try something new, just to give it a shot. If it doesn't work, okay, we'll learn from it together.
Yes. And just being willing to try new things with your students. And we've all tried those technology days where you're like, I've never done this. Let's try it. And then, something like one time, I don't even remember. I think we're trying to do something in Adobe, and it was completely blocked in the entire district. And so I was like, quick plan B, let's put on a Google slide and blah, blah, blah. So I backtracked. I had them, take a 5-minute brain break, and I put on a Go Noodle, and then I redid my lesson super quick. It happens. And I wasn't stressed. I wasn't sad. I didn't cry. I was just like, whoop, okay, didn't work. Let's try something new. You just have to be willing to take those risks.
Yeah. And I feel like too, your students, they're going to see you try something new. And if it doesn't work, they're just going to humanize you for it. Like they're going to be like, okay, I'm not the only one who might struggle with something. My teacher, who I see as this huge light in the sky, whoops, something didn't go their way, but that's okay. Look how they bounce back. You can use it as a modeling point for your students and other teachers.
You just have to do math in front of your students. You make mistakes constantly.
So I do social studies.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. Well, this has been an awesome discussion, and Jessica agrees. Like when the internet doesn't work, right? Yeah, plan B, grab a piece of paper.
Yeah, or when your projector stops working.
Right. So make sure to keep chatting about this either on the Facebook page or in the Instagram. It will be sent out on Spotify if you want to listen to it later. And I'm so excited you all joined us tonight. And Austin, thank you for joining me. It was such a great discussion on how to be a disruptor and how to break that educational machine.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was very fun, and I love doing this and being able to share what I have with the people out there who's ready to listen.
Yes, for sure. So you were going to an event tomorrow, you said, in the South Central region near Harrisburg.
Yeah, up in Harrisburg. What did we say was the Bearded Goat?
Bearded Goat, yes.
So if anybody's in that area, sign up, register on the PAECT site, and you can come see me there. My twin Brendan as well. So.
Oh, okay, you'll both be there. Okay, well,
Yeah.
look, make sure you post some pictures to the
I will.
Facebook page and Twitter and stuff. But you can check out the PAECT website for any current events coming towards you, and we'll see you again for the KTI chat in October. It will be our next chat. So, thank you guys.
Thanks, everybody.